Hey everyone! Today's all about blending AI magic with board game crafting. We'll be using ChatGPT and DALL-E, pretty cool AI tools, to build our own game. Think of something like Saboteur, but with a quirky goblin twist. Curious to see how AI can shake up game design? Stick around and let's find out together. First, let's quickly go over Saboteur. It's a game where players dig tunnels to find treasure, but there are saboteurs trying to hinder the progress. It's a mix of strategy, bluffing, and team play. Our game will borrow some of these mechanics, but with a unique goblin twist. Now, let's brainstorm with ChatGPT. First, let's request the creation of a similar game. This is not exactly what I wanted. Very similar to the game Saboteur. Let's ask ChatGPT to make it look less like a reference. Good. Now it's much closer to what I expected. Briefly about the rules of the game. 2 to 6 goblins, each with unique abilities, try to build tunnels and discover hidden treasures that are randomly distributed across the map. Players can use action cards to gain advantages or harass opponents. Some treasures may turn out to be traps. Sometimes event cards can be played and affect all players. The game session ends when all the treasures have been discovered, or there is no opportunity to open new ones. For example, there are no more tunnel maps in the game. Let's now ask ChatGPT to create 6 unique characters for the game. It did a great job, but I noticed that several of the goblins' abilities were not quite appropriate for the game, so I asked for some different ideas to be developed. Much better. Now we can ask for the character cards to be created. No, definitely not this one. This one looks good. However, it still requires some editing in Photoshop, particularly for the text. Also, I think I need to borrow some characters from other generations. Perfect! After an hour of editing, I now have 6 neat goblin cards. Now, let's ask for a description and creation of the game board. Oh no, that's not even close to the game board. It seems like DALL-E isn't capable of doing this job. If you know how to generate a game board, please let me know in the comments. However, I'll share a life hack with you. You can request an ACI scheme for cases when DALL-E cannot provide a relevant output. As you can see now, the ACI scheme makes the board layout much clearer. Unfortunately, that means you will need to draw it manually. Alternatively, you might choose not to have a game board at all, which I'll demonstrate later in this video. Let's move on. ChatGPT, please create tunnel tiles for this game. Once again, AI isn't quite up to the task for this kind of job. We expected something like that. It seems we'll need to handle this part manually again. This is what I came up with on my own, with a touch of AI assistance. Great. Let's create the magic cards that players can encounter in the deck, along with the tunnel cards. Well, these can serve as a reference for the final cards. Apply the same approach to the treasure, trap, and event cards. If the result isn't appropriate, or not quite up to par, simply request a regeneration. Finally, we have the game rules, character cards, tunnel, magic, treasure, and event cards, so we can print out the prototype and do a test run. Let's begin with the characters. Players will need to select a random goblin and a pawn of the corresponding color. I borrowed these from my Carcassonne board game. Let's begin with 3 characters for this game. Now, we need to set up the game board. It's simple. Just envision a grid and place hidden treasure cards as recommended, or according to your preference. Place the pawns at their starting points and deal 3 tunnel cards to each player. Then, players take turns in a clockwise direction to build a tunnel, move their pawn, play a trick on the opponent, or claim a treasure, which may be a trap. The goblin that collects the most treasure wins. The impression and the verdict. The game is playable but not balanced enough, and it required significant polishing to reach the final version. The graphics are good, but they also need some work. I believe we still need a human touch to achieve a completed product at the end, despite the amazing automation provided by ChatGPT and DALL-E. Finally, let's design a box for this board game. Not bad. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything interesting. See you next time.